Welcome to the Autism and Care channel. This space is dedicated to honest, empathetic, and well-researched conversations about autism and family life. If you're new here, consider subscribing and activating notifications. We post content that can truly make a difference in your journey. Today's topic is food selectivity, a reality that affects a significant portion of children on the autism spectrum and deeply impacts the daily routine of many families around the world. This is not about children who are simply picky eaters. We're talking about a deeper, more complex relationship with food that deserves understanding, patience, and knowledge. Let's begin with something many parents recognize. Your child eats only beige foods, maybe just fries, chicken nuggets, toast, or pasta. Or they accept food only if it's a certain brand, always on the same plate, or never mixed together. This isn't stubbornness. It's a sensory and behavioral challenge that has roots in how the brain processes the world. Studies show that up to 80% of children with autism spectrum disorder, ASD, exhibit some form of food selectivity. That means 8 out of 10 families are, at some point, sitting at the table with the same frustrations, worries, and guilt. So why does this happen? Children with autism often experience the world more intensely. What might seem like a mild taste or smell to us can be overwhelming to them. A soft texture to us may feel slimy, or the sound of chewing may be unbearable. This sensitivity, known as sensory processing disorder, is common in the autism community and deeply influences their relationship with food. But there's more. It's not just about the senses. For many autistic children, routine brings security. Eating the same food every day, in the same way, at the same time, isn't necessarily unhealthy. It's how they bring order to a chaotic world. That's why a small change, like a different brand of yogurt or a broken cookie, can cause distress. Let's be clear, these reactions are not tantrums. They are signs of genuine discomfort. Many parents have shared stories of meals that end in tears, not because of disobedience, but because that plate of food feels unfamiliar, unsafe, or even painful. One mother told us her son ate only white bread and chicken for nearly 2 years. She tried different sauces, hiding vegetables, creative shapes. Nothing worked. And in her words, "I stopped trying to trick him. I started trying to understand him." Understanding. That's our starting point. But how do we move forward? There's no single solution. Every child is unique. However, some strategies, backed by professionals and by real-life experience, can help. First, occupational therapy focused on sensory integration can be life-changing. These therapies don't force change, but rather create a space where children feel safe to explore food with curiosity rather than fear. Second, food chaining is a gentle technique that introduces new foods gradually, building off the child's existing preferences. For example, if a child eats only French fries, maybe the next step is baked potatoes, then mashed, then eventually other root vegetables like carrots or parsnips. Third, we must involve the family. The pressure on parents is enormous. The fear of malnutrition, the judgment from others, the feeling of failure, these are real and heavy burdens. That's why support groups, either online or local, can be incredibly helpful. You're not alone, and your struggle is valid. Let's talk briefly about health. It's natural to worry about vitamin deficiencies or weight issues. But here's what most pediatric nutritionists agree on: short-term selectivity is not automatically a crisis. With monitoring, supplements when needed, and professional support, most children eventually diversify their diets. Now, some families reach a breaking point. They're told their child just needs discipline, or that they'll eat when they're hungry. But that advice, though common, can be harmful. It ignores the core issue, and worse, it can create trauma around food. Remember, our goal is not to force, but to build trust. One spoonful willingly accepted is a greater victory than a whole meal eaten in tears. In many parts of the world, like the US and parts of Europe, schools are adapting to food selectivity by allowing children to bring their own meals, giving them space to eat without pressure, and training staff to understand the signs of distress. This is important. Inclusion doesn't stop at the classroom. It extends to the lunchroom, to birthday parties, to family dinners. Being aware, asking before offering food, and not shaming parents when they pull out the same packed lunch again, these are acts of kindness that make a huge difference. We also have to talk about cultural expectations. In some cultures, refusing food is seen as disrespectful. For autistic children, that creates double pressure: the internal sensory struggle and the external social expectation. Let's change that. Respect should include respecting boundaries. Now, here are some common foods that children with food selectivity often accept, and that can serve as a starting point for chaining. Plain pasta without sauce. Toasted bread, often white or sourdough. Chicken nuggets or plain grilled chicken. French fries, hash browns. Crackers, like saltines or Ritz. Cheese slices or mild cheese sticks. Yogurt, plain or flavored, often brand-specific. Cereal, Cheerios, Rice Krispies. Apples, peeled, no skin, or bananas. Pancakes or waffles, plain, sometimes with syrup if tolerated. These foods are familiar, predictable, and offer some nutritional base. They are not the enemy. They are a doorway. And finally, a message to you, the caregiver, the parent, the sibling, the teacher. You're doing more than feeding a child. You're building trust. You're creating safety. You're showing love, even when that love means cooking the same meal for the 100th time. Don't measure your success by what's on the plate. Measure it by the connection at the table. If this video spoke to you, please like and share. It helps more families find this message. Subscribe for more content like this, and let us know in the comments. What has your experience been with food selectivity? Your voice matters. Your story matters. We'll see you in the next video, and until then, remember, small steps matter, especially the ones taken together.